for her performance in The Wife.
I don't like to be lectured to. I'm not a child. Oh.
And Spike Lee is nominated for the first time for Best Director. The Oscars will be awarded on February 24th. Live in Los Angeles, Steve Futterman, CBS News.
A pop star is in trouble again. Chris Brown is under arrest in Paris after a rape complaint was filed against him. CBS's Elaine Kalb is in the French capital.
The 24-year-old woman told police she met the singer at a nightclub off the Champs-Élysées last Tuesday night. She and several other women were invited back to his hotel. There she found herself alone with him and says he raped her and that his bodyguard and a friend also assaulted her. Paris judicial sources have confirmed that Brown was arrested yesterday and is still in custody.
There's an arrest warrant out for a man from Northern Illinois accused of letting an 11-year-old relative drive herself to school in a stolen rental car. Round Lake Park police say elementary school employees saw the girl pull up at drop-off with Kafilo Oshodi in the passenger seat. This is CBS News.
You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
And now, an ad from Dad.
All right, what do we got here? Save money on car insurance when you bundle home auto with Progressive. Save money on car insurance. You ready? Save money on car insurance when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. That sounded pretty good, I think. I could do it one more time, but I think that's, what do you say? Nailed it, right? Nailed it.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Indeed knows it's hard to find qualified candidates when you're hiring.
It's like finding a unicorn.
But when you post your job on Indeed, it's easy to find people with the skills you need.
Nurse practitioner, 4+ years experience, acute care certification.
Indeed has a huge pool of amazing candidates and screener tools that help you find your most qualified applicants.
Whoa, an entire short list of unicorns.
Now, get a $50 credit to give your first job posting premium placement at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, quality standards, and usage limits apply. Additional terms online.
A town in Italy takes a vow of silence for the digital recordings of some centuries-old violins.
An ambitious new musical project is silencing Cremona. Violin craftsmen are recording and preserving one of the most iconic sounds in music, an authentic Stradivarius violin. The mayor has asked citizens to avoid sudden and unnecessary sounds, and Cremona's cobbled streets around the recording sessions are being closed off for 5 weeks when recording is underway. Sabina Castelfranco, CBS News, Rome.
Singer Bebe Rexha says top designers aren't interested in dressing her for the Grammys because she's a size 6'8".
You're saying that all the women in the world that are size 8 and up are not beautiful and they cannot wear your dresses.
She says as soon as she was nominated for 2 awards, she started looking for a dress, but no one was interested in designing one for her. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
92.7 Nuga Radio. 3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Traffic investigators say the 2 cars slammed into each other at the intersection of Brainerd and Elmwood. 2 people were hospitalized, one with minor injuries, the other with serious wounds. Part of the roadway had to be closed off as crews worked to collect evidence and clear the scene. Chattanooga police revealed they arrested a carjacking suspect on Saturday. 2 victims told cops that men ran up to them with guns, demanded their money, valuables, and car. They then made off with the victim's Dodge Charger. After a short investigation, the police named Brandon Cannon as a suspected carjacker, and another juvenile was charged. Cannon arrested on several charges, including aggravated robbery and carjacking. Nearly 1,000 people volunteered on Martin Luther King Jr. Day with projects including a cleanup of cemeteries, church volunteer work, helping the homeless, and countless other activities to benefit the community. Kids from Howard High School volunteered on their day off. Russell Stroud, Nuga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Nuga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
Lots of sunshine, but still quite cold out there for your afternoon. Still a little breezy as well. Highs upper 30s. Tonight, clear. Lows back into the lower 20s. For Tuesday, dry. A little warmer for the afternoon. Highs upper 40s with areas of showers moving in from the west late Tuesday night through Wednesday. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area. Check allsouthernrealty.com for their complete listing. And I'm Storm Keens Walsh, Chief Meteorologist, Pastor 4.
Chattanooga Radio 92.7.
MLS 2239. We will beat any national mortgage company's rate. All day, every day, guaranteed. I'm Ben Phillips, and a financial analyst acted upon that statement and called his local mortgage company, Home Rate Mortgage, to buy his dream home. We close the loan in 23 days, while the national guys, they usually close in 40. Home Rate Mortgage is your local mortgage company in Tennessee. Again, Home Rate Mortgage will give you the best rate all day, every day, guaranteed. So let this story be your story and call Home Rate Mortgage today, 805-9100. And there's no cost and no obligation. So why wouldn't you call 805-9100 or HomeRateMortgage.com?
Turn a house into a home rate mortgage.
Space, the final frontier.
Whether it's a man cave, she shedder office, L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales has your space. The perfect portable building just for you. L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales is a premier building authorized dealer. You tired of paying high storage fees, lack of security, and not having easy access to your stuff? Then L&K has the building just for you. Or if you're looking for a mini home or the perfect hunting cabin, L&K has the building that will convert perfectly. Free delivery up to 50 miles. No credit checks and low monthly payments. Call L&K today at 706-858-0077. 706-858-0077. On Facebook, search L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales. 3532 Lakeview Drive, Rossville, Georgia. L&K's featured storage unit this month is a center cabin 12x32, featuring 15% off. L&K Buildings and Trailer Sales. Call 706-858-0077.
All right, guys, it is Tuesday, and I'm loving life. Guess what? You're on the Donna Show. Nuga Radio 92.7 FM. Guys, we're connecting you with people, information, and resources that help you live your best life. Why? Because you should. I'm going to. Aren't you, Alex?
Absolutely.
Going to live my best life. Guys, we are partying to all things community up in here. I've been literally consumed in a conversation already with my guest about social media. And, you know, I think people know that's a sore spot for me because I just think that people use it and they make themselves look bad. And I want to help people look good, Alex. But guys, I got to tell you, I'm really stoked today because I have Alex Lavage. I want to say that like Oprah. I kind of sounded like that, didn't I? A little bit. Oprah-ism. Guys, Alex Lavage is this startup guru. Now, he's very humble, but Alex Lavage is a startup guru. He is the CEO and president of Startup Champs. And if you are anywhere in this city or region, you've seen this guy because he's got a footprint from Knoxville all the way to Chattanooga. So welcome, Alex Lavage, to the Donna Show.
Hey, thank you so much, Donna. I love being here. I'm a huge fan.
I love it. And guys, y'all heard that. And when he told me he was a fan, I looked at him and I said, you must not have many friends. But I saw him the other night. Let me tell you, because we get to talk about it today. Now, you're going to tell a whole lot about you, but I want to tell them where we were the other night because we can now. We can talk about it. So you hosted, or you were part of an event. Would you tell them? Tell them what we did the other night.
It's real exciting. The short of it is we held a going away party.
Private event.
A private event in the spirit of Chattanooga's love that's here. For 3 out of 10 companies that were accepted to Techstars Austin.
Wow.
For those of you that aren't familiar with Techstars or the startup scene, it is globally the largest accelerator network on the planet.
Wow.
And so for
on
us
the planet,
to have
literally,
for
guys.
us to have 3 out of 10 companies be accepted to this accelerator program was extraordinary. So a shout out to Chris Cummings and Pass It Down.
Pass It Down, Chris Cummings.
Aaron Welch at Whirly.
Aaron at
and
Whirly.
Felicia Jackson at CPR Rep.
And you know, she was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she brought her products and everything. I love it. So what did you do to help them? Because I've had people say literally when they found out you were coming on the show, what does he do? I know he's like a big businessman, but what part did you play in that? And then go ahead and tell the listener your background.
Sure. So Startup Champs in general, our philosophy is help clients get customers and lock in sales before they incorporate. And I'm happy to talk more about that later. But ever since I was director of accelerator programs over at CoLab, what an amazing incredible experience to see the number of people that are behind the scenes making companies like that successful.
Yes.
And it really takes a village, which is a philosophy that's near and dear to my heart and several other Chattanoogans as well. So all three of those companies, I consider them dear friends. Chris was a paying client there for a while, but all of them came by my office on regular visits and said,
kind
hey,
of an unofficial mentor, but you're unofficial, but you're official because people know they can count on you. And even if you're not paying them, now that doesn't mean you don't pay the guy, but because you're so invested in people that you do not want them to fail.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, most of my clients are high net worth individuals and Fortune 1000 companies, but ultimately my mission and purpose is I invest everything I can back into the Chattanooga entrepreneurial ecosystem, because what we have here is really special. And we've come a long way, but there's a long way to go. And we need to keep investing our heart and resources into making Chattanooga successful economy for entrepreneurs and for everyone in the 21st century.
Well, I know now I'm going to have to go there. Everybody that knows Donna knows I'm a big Roll Tide fan. However, I'm always a polite guest. Since you're from Knoxville, we're going to go there.
Okay.
So I know you're a third generation Is it Knoxvillian, or is that how you say that?
Knoxvillian.
Knoxvillian.
Sure.
That's your hometown, but since around 2012. But you came here. So talk about the culture you had where you come from.
Sure.
If you don't care.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about it openly. I think Knoxville was a great place to grow up. It's a great place to raise a family. Still have lots of friends and family that live there. For me, coming back from San Francisco, however, in 2008, was a bit of a culture shock because, here I was in the hub of all this entrepreneurial activity.
That's interesting to say you say that, because you're such a chameleon. I don't see you as even getting shocked, especially about culture. So what shocked you?
Excuse me. I think the shock at the time was just how little the community was doing to invest in entrepreneurship.
That makes sense.
And this was, a town where there were people like my grandfather back in the day got started with, less than $1,000 in his pocket and built one of the, largest advertising agencies in the South and became a serial entrepreneur.
Didn't know that.
And
so it's in your blood.
So, and it was something where, I get back there and I'm like, where are we continuing this legacy? Where are we helping the dreamers, the innovators, the entrepreneurs feel like they are supported every step of the way?
Yeah.
And at the time, it just didn't exist. And I got weird looks as we were trying to, put together Knoxville Overground, which is the equivalent of the company lab down here in Chattanooga. So needless to say, I come down to Chattanooga and I was amazed that people were doing the same kind of work.
And you connected with some of my friends when you came back. You connected. Now, I don't know Sheldon. I knew of him. But Enoch, like everybody knows him.
Sure.
You kind of came back, connected with these guys, and then the startup scene started.
And then
because you were behind all that. I'm going to give you that credit.
Well,
you were behind that. And to the listeners, it's my show, so I get to say this. There were people behind the scenes. Now, I'm a big Chattanooga Startup Week person, but who got that stuff started? Guys, it started because, I'm going to say it like this, a few people like yourself came from other areas and brought what they were doing. Sometimes you can't be what you can't see. As in a city, we didn't know what we couldn't be. We had no idea what the future looked like.
And I think what Chattanooga provided in its culture was not just, I remember joking about, you all actually pay people money to do this stuff? That's amazing. Thanks to amazing foundations like Lyndhurst and Benwood and Causeway and others. But also, it was just the heart and the passion. I'll never forget. I was visiting with Sheldon one evening, and he said, "Yeah, it's really inspiring to be in a community where so many people care," and that stuck with me to this day. And I feel like that's the spirit of Chattanooga, and that's what sets us apart.
It is me too. And we talk on the show often. We understand there are other things going on in the city. We get that, but I've decided my lane is right here. Let everybody else have that stuff. But
sure.
But so moving forward now, Enoch. People looked at these guys and they're like, "What are these people doing?" What they were doing is a result of what we're experiencing today. But then the manufacturing you started moving in towards that manufacturing at the BDC. What did you do there, and what was your footprint there?
So there, what eventually brought me down to Chattanooga was working with a company which in the day was in the headlines often, called Variable. It was making a handheld sensor called Node. 2014, it was recognized as one of the top 10 manufacturing startups in the world.
Didn't know that.
And so I was brought on to help with what I've typically done for a lot of startups throughout my career, and that is put together sales lead generation strategies.
So you did that. Now, Business Development Center now has turned into an entrepreneurial pit.
Yeah, sure.
It's not like it used to be. We actually, MSI went there and went through the process when Foster was there, Miss Foster, and we ended up not doing it. But what was funny, we went there, Alex, and they had already put our plate up on our nameplate up on the door. We're like, oh my God. But the reason we didn't, we just were called to something different. And, but what I do say to people when you go there, it is a great place, but not everybody gets in. You know that. What happens to the 90 applicants that did the process but didn't get any success or didn't get an office, didn't do those next steps? They're all around us, and that's where you come into play. So you joined CoLab as the director of the accelerator programs, and really that's when I started really seeing your work, right? Everybody did. However, I'm curious, what did you do there, and what was your role?
Well, it was a combination of things. I would say, I was available to visit with any entrepreneur who walked into the door, either pre-launch or post-launch, and just provide counsel and to do an audit of the processes that they were going through and connect them with other people in the community that stepped up and said, hey, I'm willing to give 15, 30 minutes of my time, high-level consultation with some of these companies. In addition to that, it was putting together the programming for the accelerators, which essentially came down to doing three things: helping companies get things done with less time and less cost, get the right things done and in the right order, and accelerate strategic relationships, meaning it wasn't just getting them connected with potential customers, but also with potential partners that could help them take that business to the next level.
So to the listener, I want to kind of go somewhere real quick. If you're out there, and I'm going to say it, I don't care if you're in Cleveland, Tennessee, you're in Soddy Daisy, in a trailer park, you're in Glenwood, you're somewhere in the projects living today. No matter where you start, guys, you've got opportunity. Now, let me tell you why. Access and exposure comes from when you reach out to someone. You have to ask for that. So today, if you're listening to my show and you're hearing Alex Slavich, now I'm not going to tell you he's going to jump ship with you and say, hey, I'm here for you. But if you message me at thedonnashow@mail.com, we'll give Alex's information later. You just have to reach out. The first step right now, I know there's somebody out there who has a cleaning business, somebody has a cookie business, something that you think is going to be a business, right?
Right.
But you've got to start somewhere. So that next step is do it. Don't quit your day job. Please don't do that. I see you're shaking your head.
Yeah. Don't quit your day job.
No, don't do that. Look, I thought I could sing once, seriously, and went through this whole process, and halfway through, like, somebody should have told me better. But my point is, reach out. Access and exposure comes both ways. Now, second thing I want to talk about real quick before we go there, you and I talked about something. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is Startup Champs. Guys, that's what I'm super duper excited about. You know now a little bit more about my friend Alex and what he does. And he invests in companies. But what he does, he invests in them in many levels. When you say invest, everybody thinks money. I'm not just saying money. Really, money comes after all the other stuff is proven, right? However, he agrees with me on a couple of things, and we're going to go there. Social media will make you or break you. So I'm going to go there with an expert right now. You said some things earlier that my listener needs to hear. I educate the listeners. Guys, I'm your friend. You're my friend. If you and I are sitting in a coffee shop and I do something stupid, I hope you, my friend, are going to tell me, Donna, I really like you, but what you just did and said was really dumb. Would you do that for me, Alex? Would you tell me that? You would, wouldn't you?
Sure.
So let's put a scenario out there.
Okay.
You and I get mass tagged last night in a message. Somebody's having an event. Ready? They tagged 99 people because I believe that's the max they let you tag. You're in there, I'm in there, and some of our friends are in there, but I have no clue. Now I know of the person, but Alex, I've never even been to an event. How do you, as a professional, perceive that?
I perceive it as socially awkward as someone coming up to my office and putting a flyer on my office window without asking my permission.
And my friend AJ, now I'm calling her out because she's out there anyway, and she hears all, she sees all, she's a businesswoman, but she put this on her page, and I'm going to take the play from her book. If you keep, I've said this one other time, but I'm not being mean, guys. I'm trying to help you. Quit mass tagging me. Do not tag me in anything else. Come Monday, this coming Monday, I swear to you, you're going to get an invoice from MSI because I worked hard on that brand. I'll share it with you, Alex, right? Reach out to me or message me and say, hey, Donna, it's Alex.
Sure.
I'm going to do an event. Love to have you help me. But now there's a thing called overexposure. Talk about that and then talk about the leveling out that you saw.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were talking about that this morning. I think the idea is a lot of entrepreneurs can put the cart before the horse. and they get caught up in the trap of they're chasing rather than attracting. And what I mean by that,
chasing, not attracting.
Right. And what that means is if you're out there just promoting, and you're trying to get exposure, you're trying to get attention, and you're very focused on your personal brand and all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying that's necessarily bad, but that can distract you from focusing on what's most important. Do you have a value proposition, and are you truly adding value or solving a problem for the customer? Because if you are, the best marketing platform out there is not social media. It's just peer-to-peer marketing. It's someone telling their friend, hey, you should talk to Donna, you should talk to Alex, you should talk to whomever. They're the best at what they do. And over time, that will grow exponentially until you have a profitable, sustainable business model.
Something you said that was really key. Guys, when you're out there promoting an event, I do know this, that it is everything to you. You've invested time, resources, you got volunteers, you've got so much invested in it. I get it. But when you take that event and you put it out there, and you made an analogy of you're up here, but your value proposition. So to the listener, I've got my hand held real high. You're up here, but your value proposition is down on the floor.
Right.
So you've got to level it. How does that work? How do you finally bring, because when I see those mass tags, here's what I see. You're not willing to do the work to get the people to your event. You're not willing, nor maybe do you know how to do the work to get them there. This is your way of doing it. And it appears desperate, guys.
Sure.
And Alex, and it's not mean, guys, we want to help you, but Alex, I'm going to say from his chair, if I'm looking to invest, whether it's time, money, resources in a company, and I see you mass tagging, it would concern me more than it would enlighten me and help me think, well, this person's valuable in terms of what they're doing. So, again, not a hard, beat you down, but guys, you need to understand how people perceive you.
And just be confident that when you do go public, that you have a niche that really sets you apart.
Yeah.
There are a lot of startups that get caught up in this trap of overexposure. And what ends up happening works to their detriment, because they may hit the ground running. They say, we're the best thing ever since sliced bread. And then they pivot, and then they pivot again, and then they pivot again. And then in the public consciousness, people are confused. Wait, what does that brand do? What are they really about? So it's actually better to do your market research, do your focus groups, do your random sample online surveys, which we can talk about, get the market insights you need to make sure that that you're truly in the right market. And then from there, you can work hard and do all the promotion. But to put that first is another example of focusing on getting things done and not getting the right things done in the right order, which is just one of many traps that entrepreneurs fall into.
And I would just add to that at any time, guys, whether it's the first part of your event at the end, it's not just an event. If you're just promoting your information, you might just be putting out an article about, how to be a better startup entrepreneur. But if you, again, mass tag at any point, don't do it. Go back up and say, wait a minute, who am I going to put in this? You know what? Instead, I'm going to send a few direct messages to Donna, to Alex. Hey, guys, I love what you do. Would you mind if I tagged you in this? I know you probably won't come to this because you're a busy person, or it's not something you do, right? But what you said is key, confidence. I am confident in what I do. I'm confident when I put something out there that people are going to receive it exactly how I put it out there. Now, if they do or don't, I don't care, right? You put it out there and hope that. But from an expert, you hear that. So the reason I say social media, because that's where I see a lot of people make mistakes, right? But with that, we've got about 3 minutes on this side of the show. I do want to touch base on a couple of things, let you know who's coming up. Guys, I keep getting messages, and our team has gotten messages about how can people sponsor the show. It's a good thing when you can say, well, inventory's low, right? Isn't that great? Absolutely. Like, we get to choose who sponsors the show. Yeah, it's a totally different lane. From the beginning, I was like, hey, anybody want to bake cookies and sponsor my show? The good thing is, thank goodness, my check's not tied to what y'all do or who decides to sponsor. Thank goodness, right? However, I got to tell you who's coming up on my show. So, of course, yesterday we had Greg Harwood, the new director of workforce development with the city of Chattanooga. Today we have the Alex Lavage. Tomorrow we've got Shannon Stevenson. She's the new CEO for SIMPA, used to be Chattanooga Cares. Off-site on Thursday. They don't know where I'll be. I'll let y'all know. It might be Cheesecake Factory again. But then we've got the Chattanooga Football Club, which you are an owner.
Yes.
Right? So
many of us are.
Yeah, many of us are. Guys, by Friday at 10:01, I better be an owner. Okay? So I said, I got to wait till I get them on here. But anyway, I'm excited because we're going to talk about ownership. And then next week, Mayor Jim Coppinger, Elaine Swafford from CGLA. We've got the Chattanooga Symphony. the Kidney Foundation, and then we've got the Mox Cheerleaders, guys. And then the following Monday, Mayor Andy Burke. It does not get any better, man.
What a lineup.
What a lineup. I'm trying to figure out how to do this gig for 40 hours a week. So if anybody out there has any entrepreneur ideas for that, I would just love to sit on this mic and talk for 40 hours. I don't know if y'all can handle it, though. So other than that, guys, I'm going to give you a quick lineup, and we're going to have a quick break before we go to the other side of the show, guys. But I don't know if you've heard who's on this radio station, but guys, it's a total lineup from the morning in the morning when you wake up till the time you go to bed. But we got the local morning news with Russ and Val. Russ is like this dude, Alex. When you see Russ, he does. Like this voice comes out, that radio voice. Like, man, he sounds so awesome, right? But again, Val and Russ. We got CBS, then traffic and weather, guys. Jeff Stiles comes on for a whole hour of news. And then he comes for a whole hour of chaos. That's what I like to say. Love that guy. Love him, love him. Then your redhead, of course, Chattanooga's favorite redhead comes on. Then we got One Family Financial, Marie Mott, David Tullis, Sean Hannity, The Breakfast Splits. We've got you covered with Scott Schrader and The Beard. You saw that beard this morning, right? He comes walking in the room as the beard walks first. We got The Breakfast Splits, Morgan's Mortgage Sense with Kevin, The Clutch with Keon Rose, and NASCAR. I'm just not a NASCAR fan, but everybody around here is. Now, I said if they want to bring me to the middle of the pit, because that's where all the fun stuff happens. So, so we got about a minute and 12 seconds before we head to the second side of the hour. Alex, I want to ask you, though, a few personal questions. So
Sure.
What's somebody that we don't know about you? Because people look at me and think I'm real serious, and they come in here and I'm dancing. I'm a fool. I act like a complete fool, right? But I say the same about you. You're kind of stoic sometimes, and all of a sudden you'll talk. Sometimes you're not bubbly, but you're uplifting. And then sometimes it's like, man, what's he thinking? So tell us something funny about you we don't know.
Oh gosh. Well, just that I love comedy. I used to
You love comedy.
I used to study improv comedy when I was in San Francisco at a school called Bay Area Theater Sports.
Yeah.
And improv comedy changed my life. Just the very philosophy of yes and.
Wow.
And being able to let go of the ego and to connect with other people, to truly just let the creativity flow through you effortlessly is so powerful, not only for living our best lives, but also for bringing the most amount of value to a creative process.
Love it.
As we're thinking of new and better ways to do things.
I love it, guys. We got about 5 seconds. All things startup champs on the second side of the hour. And I may get this guy to dance with me. I don't know. Look, he is. Look, when you dance like this, you get to come back on the show, Alex. Look at this dude. All right, guys, we are loving life here. And if you're not, shame on you. You've hit the Nuga Radio 92.7 FM with the Donna Show and Alex Lavish. We may end up changing the name of the show. Look at this. Punch it out. Guys, keep it on the dial right here on the second side of the show. You might even get some coffee. Hang tight. We'll be back.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
2 people badly injured in a Monday crash. Traffic investigators say 2 cars slammed into each other at the intersection of Brainerd and Elmwood. 2 people were hospitalized, one with minor injuries, the other with serious wounds. Cause of the crash still under investigation. Multiple fire units rushed to the scene of a large commercial fire in Whitfield County. Reports say the McLeod belting business in Dalton was engulfed in flames as crews rushed to put the fire out. No word on any injuries. And the Dunlap Fire Department updating the public via Twitter about the condition of a child who was injured in a crash that killed her mother. Dunlap Fire Department says the child was released from the hospital and is doing well. The girl was injured when a car driven by her mother slammed into a tree. The mother was killed. She was not wearing a seatbelt. The Sean Hannity Show, weekdays from 3 to 6 on Nuga Radio. Val St. John for Nuga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News Now.
Nuga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
Lots of sunshine, but still quite cold out there for your afternoon. Still a little breezy as well. Highs upper 30s. Tonight, clear. Lows back into the lower 20s. For Tuesday, dry. A little warmer for the afternoon. Highs upper 40s with areas of showers moving in from the west late Tuesday night through Wednesday. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area. Check allsouthernrealty.com for their complete listing. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Pastor 4.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Nooga Radio 92.7 Action Sports now. Darren McFadden arrested on DWI after falling asleep in a fast food restaurant chain drive-thru. He was taken into custody early Monday morning as employees called police at a McKinley, Texas Whataburger about a sleeping man in drive-thru. Rockets agreed to a Carmelo Anthony deal to the Chicago Bulls. Anthony, a 10-time All-Star, will not play a game for the Chicago Bulls, who will either trade him or waive him before the February 7th date. Tennessee is making history, but not the way you want them to make history. The Lady Vols have lost 3 out of 5 games by 2 points, another one by the loss of 4 points. 71% of the Lady Vols come from sophomores and freshmen. Listen to the sports guys on Nooga Radio 92.7. We do local, regional, national sports stories. Everything that matters to you matters to us. Listen to the sports guys. This Sportsman is brought to you by Apollo Hair Systems. I'm Big John Christopher, Nooga Radio 92.7 Action Sports now.
Whether you have marginal, moderate, or even extensive hair loss, you don't have to live with it. Finally, there's a procedure that becomes a part of you, and it requires no daily maintenance or special care. Let Apollo Hair Systems give you a free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 423-803-1011 and schedule this free evaluation today. Open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Apollo Hair Systems, 5512 Ringgold Road in Chattanooga. 423-803-1011 for Apollo Hair Systems.
If an uncertain economy and runaway stock market is making you think twice about how and where to invest, you may need some professional help. Talk to a local husband and wife team who have seen it all. Ron and Christy Adams with One Family Financial. The Adams have helped clients navigate through bull markets, bear markets, recessions, bubbles, and booms. And they have the experience to put your assets to work for you while minimizing risk. Find out how Ron and Christy can keep you on track for a long, happy, worry-free retirement. 423-710-2009 or go to onefamilyfinancial.com.
Where can you find exotic surroundings, fine dining, and a taste of Italy tucked away in Chattanooga? On Highway 58, you'll find Portobello's. They serve up food just like Mama used to make, but without the extra helping of guilt. Portobello's has fresh, homemade pasta and signature dishes sure to please, bringing you back for more. Just like Mama, the folks at Portobello's are always happy to see you and always happy to meet your friends. Call ahead for delicious takeout or just show up for their amazing Portobello's menu. Portobello'sChattanooga.com. Chattanooga's home for the finest Italian food.
AJ Sports Bar and Grill, a female-owned bar since 2016. Let me tell you about AJ's. She takes this bar business serious. She has the most amazing food you'll ever get in a sports bar. It's not your typical sports bar. It's got one-inch steaks. It's got nachos, chicken tenders. And the best thing about AJ Sports Bar and Grill is her wings. These wings are amazing. 16 different draft beers on tap. 10 other draft beers in bottle. She has dozens of TVs for every sport that you could ever watch. Let's talk about wings. They have the most amazing wings that you have ever eaten in all of Chattanooga. This sports guy highly recommends you go to AJ Sports Bar and Grill, get the wings, and say you heard this on the Sports Guys. AJ Sports Bar and Grill is located on 6238 Bonnie Oaks Drive in Chattanooga. Their phone number is 423-485-9080 and ask for AJ.
The Mad Philly Sandwich Shop on Shallowford Road across from Mountain View Service Center presents How to Speak Philadelphian and its Southern translation.
Hey, forget about it.
Hey, don't worry.
Just shut up and eat it.
Now go eat what's on your plate.
Hey, Rose, did you get the shopping cart?
Hey, Rose, get the buggy.
The Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, just off Route 153 on Shallowford Road across from Mountain View Service Center.
It's a good Philly, y'all.
Lots of sunshine, but still quite cold out there for your afternoon. Still a little breezy as well. Highs upper 30s. Tonight, clear. Lows back into the lower 20s. For Tuesday, dry. A little warmer for the afternoon. Highs upper 40s with areas of showers moving in from the west late Tuesday night through Wednesday. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area. Check allsouthernrealty.com for their complete listing. And I'm Storm Team's Walls Chief Meteorologist Pat Report.
The radio 92.7.
some national attention, which is really exciting. And we're talking also just about the entrepreneurial process and how anyone, regardless of what category they fall under or where they're starting from in terms of net worth, can think about not just launching new ventures, but ultimately building wealth successfully through taking calculated risks.
I love it, guys. And I don't talk like that. I'm going to say it far less eloquent, but I'm so glad my friends are intelligent around here. So just so you know, we've had some technical stuff going on. If you are on Facebook, you see me running around like crazy. And the good thing is Alex does nothing. He's so calm. You're the guy I want in my corner when a fire breaks out. So, or I've learned now that you're the guy I want on the dance floor. Now, I love my husband, and he's a dancer, but we've decided and determined that even if nothing else, he's coming back to the show to help me teach you guys how to dance.
I think that would definitely draw in the crowds and listeners.
I think it would.
And completely take away any chances I have of ever running for politics. But let's do it anyway.
Let's do it anyway. So we're going to talk about the Startup Champs.
Cool.
So I know that's really, we talked about who you are, where you come from, your background, and why you do what you do, right? Now if people, by this time, they know how involved you are at every level of entrepreneurship. But you started a company called
Startup Champs.
Because why would we need this company?
Well, I think the main reason is for anyone that's been around the tech startup scene or just entrepreneurship in general since the mid-2000s, let's be real for a second. We've seen a lot of waste. We've seen a lot of entrepreneurs put together business plans, go to a demo day, raise a lot of capital, hit the ground running, and then those companies end up closing shop or they end up going bankrupt.
And so do the people with them.
Correct. And to me, that's a higher calling. Is there's nothing more costly than dwindling enthusiasm and it's taking away the creative spirit of the individual because they just were not set up for success. So the idea behind Startup Champs is to apply that athletic mentality to say, hey, if you prepare before playing the game, you are more likely to win the game. In which case, if you are prepared to go out and do the market research, do the product market fit work, go get pre-orders, get to know your customers before you even incorporate so that the moment you hit the ground running as a business, you are in the black, you are making money straight out of the gate. Chances are you're more likely to be successful than if you start off with either your own personal resources, money from friends and family, or money from investors, in which case then you're just starting with a lot of anxiety and stress and you're just constantly worried because that money's not coming in fast enough. And it becomes more than you can handle.
And Alex, I'm going to bring you in here just a little bit in this queue. We've had to change the look. But you're right. And what he's talking about, a lot of people do not think about. People do the following. They say, you know what? I got an idea. I'm going to do this. And they do it. But they don't do it the right way. And guys, I've done this. I've been guilty of it. That's why I'm finally where I am, Alex, because of enough mistakes.
Sure.
But we want people not to do that. So I'm going to tell you, I know people say I'm going to my relative, but guys, try to do it by the book. And I say that because when a process is perfected before you, it makes no sense. It's insanity to go and try and find someone else to do it and do it a totally different way, mess up, lose your money, and you lose the spirit. A lot of times people get lost in that process and that cycle, and they lost the opportunity that would have changed their life. So when you think about the foundation and money, financing, that's what a lot of people go to first. They don't know how to get it. Guys, it's not just putting a number together and saying, this is what I need. Alex, what's the process when you've done your business? Let's just do the business of CPR Wrap. Let's kind of talk about that.
Sure.
She didn't just up one day and design something and say, now go make this and sell it.
No, she came from a medical background. Felicia was in front of patients and doctors and several others in the industry and saw the need firsthand.
And she had a medical background.
And and from there developed those relationships every step of the way to make sure, hey, if I go and do this thing, I've validated that there's a market before I just hit the ground running.
Yes.
And so that's a powerful example that we continue to want to perpetuate throughout Chattanooga.
Yes.
To say that, we can all have it all. We just can't have it all at once.
That's the key.
Do things incrementally, be patient, step by step.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as I joke all the time, we can have nice things.
Yes, yes, we can. Yes.
But you've got to go by the book and follow the steps in the right order.
So, you know, I know that you've worked with quite a few people here, but take Errol Wynn, who is here. You know Errol very well. You know, again, you have to look at people around you. Pay attention to what the people that are doing something and those who aren't doing something. So Errol's a good example. Errol said, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. He made a plan. He gathered people, put people in his corner that knew it, had won and lost and had been there, done that. Then, in addition to that, he says, I'm going to go even further. I'm going to ask for funding from my own community. So, guys, you just can't be afraid to step out there. I would rather somebody say, well, that's so funny. Donna thought she was going to get $1,000 out of me for her great whatever. You got to at least give me props for trying, right?
Sure.
But connect yourself. Connectivity, who's in your circle matters. Now, you guys are doing, or you're doing something, I should say. You're kind of weaving that consulting portfolio, if you will, into a brand called the Startup Champs, right? So that's kind of what you've done to get here. But now, what is next for you? Because this is to help other people. I mean, how do you benefit?
Sure. Well, if you're talking about, the business model, like I said, most of my clients are high net worth individuals or Fortune 1000.
That's how you get paid.
So, and most of those contracts start at $25,000 and up. So, but in which case, I know that's not a lot of people's price range.
Yeah.
So something that I do on the side is I still do pro bono consulting for people in Chattanooga.
But I would venture to say, if a person came to you and they had a pretty good plan and you saw future, doesn't matter if they're $25,000 or $10,000, because I'm going to tell you, $10,000, $15,000 is a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And it is a lot. But if somebody came to you and said, hey, Alex, I've got $5,000 and I really know I need to do this. I'm not speaking for you, but you'd sit down and have a conversation.
Oh, I'll have a conversation with anyone. Chattanooga runs through my veins. I love this community so much. And, we're all here to help each other. We're all here to help each other thrive.
But the community loves you. And I'll say that's part of being receptive. And I'm going to go to something, though. You say this, and I love it. I've said it my whole life, or my professional life, and I heard you say it this morning in our conversation. Guys, there's a few keys that you need to know. Stay relevant. If you are not relevant, nobody's going to take you off the shelf to buy you or talk to you, right?
Right.
What's your take on the relevancy, though? Because you constantly stay relative, but you're kind of like a chameleon. And I believe you have to be that. Now, some people have told me when I say that about myself, really? Well, I don't like people who are chameleons. You're not being true. Yes, I am. I can accommodate and adapt, right? So what's your thought on that being relevant?
Well, I think what we're trying to do at Startup Champs is give back to the community so that what we're doing isn't just seen as like this elitist, exclusive, high-tech thing.
Thank you.
But instead, where my heart is basically helping the 99%, helping everyone reach financial freedom. So one of the things we've been funding lately is an initiative called Reboot Chattanooga.
Love that. I was going to go there. So Reboot, and I just like that name. This is so cool. Like everybody has to reboot your computer. Did you refresh your screen or reboot your computer? Yes, I did, IT guy.
Right.
Who came up with that? You?
Yep. It was in the office, and it's a little bit like, I think a lot of entrepreneurs sometimes feel like they're getting one too many error messages or that little swirly wheel of death.
Well, I'm the competitive one. I'm like, my mind goes like this. I'm going to outdo you. I'm going to wait. And then I'm waiting, and he always wins. That little spiraling out of control technical thing. Yeah. So I like that, though. So now, what is that? What is the Reboot for?
So Reboot is doing two things. It's listening to entrepreneurs at all different levels. And it's asking them, where are you getting stuck? And what are your ideas for getting unstuck? The second phase is looking at how can we redefine entrepreneurship in a way that's much more inclusive. So in that sense, it's entrepreneurship is meaning not just people that are launching a business, but it's people who are taking personal responsibility for building wealth in their own lives outside of just a paycheck.
I love that. So what you just did was all of a sudden, because we're this community of entrepreneurs and small businesses, you just said the second part of that. You just opened it up. So really what I heard you say, if I may, if you're just trying to be a better person in your career, in your focus, in whatever you're doing to earn a paycheck, it was said that way, and you need a little help polishing it up, that you would benefit from this.
Absolutely. And we came out with this moonshot vision to say, how can we create a new vision for an ecosystem that allows us to create 1,000 millionaires over the next 10 years, all of whom have a commitment to giving back. So it's a different type of billion-dollar impact. Because historically, as we've invested a lot of money and resources into this community to help entrepreneurs, it's always been with this intent of like, where are we going to get the next billion-dollar company? We want that IPO. We want that big win.
I hope it's MSI or CPR Wrap or one of these.
And that's great. And it's absolutely fantastic, but that's not what everyone wants to do. That's not what everybody needs to do. So a part of the American dream is this idea that, hey, we're all equal. We all have a right to pursue self-sufficiency and self-determination, to take control over our own lives. So Reboot is this idea of how do we support these people who are sharing their stories of how they're making an extra $500 to $5,000 a month in their spare time, so that they can then take the next step to either launch a company or to keep building wealth in their lives in unique ways. And I'm really excited for that report to come out.
I love it. Now, and I know that we're going to stay closely connected on that. And I know you've got something coming to the Creative Entrepreneur Conference this weekend that Megan, I want to give Megan a shout out, because Megan, I know behind, I'm going to say beside me, with me, behind me, in front of me, my team, thank God I've got a rock star team. But Megan Furr, you got to be a double, triple threat rock star to work with this guy. So shout out to Megan. But I know that you are basically, you're working on the presentation and all the details coming up for the conference this Saturday at 9 a.m. at the public library. Guys, public library, how long is it going to last? And what are they going to expect that day?
That's going to go from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it is a great stepping stone if you are thinking about launching a business or are just looking for some inspiration with fellow positive Chattanoogans who believe that, you know, no matter how life tough is, there's always hope. There's always a way to move forward. Just because a solution is not directly in front of us does not mean that a solution does not exist. So if it's a room full at the library this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. with leaders throughout the community talking about how we can help entrepreneurs win at all levels.
I love it. And, you know, the thing I love about Chattanooga, and you keep saying it, is just that we're just a city of a bunch of entrepreneurs, and we actually have a culture that cultivates that and helps us and keeps pushing us forward. Even the days we're at home or we're at the office and you're not feeling it, right? You can go on Facebook, you can go walk down the street and you just feel it. But I want to make sure I'm saying this, because if you ever look at my advertising and marketing, you see live, work, learn, and play. My objective is this, and I'm going to give a quick story. So I was over in one of the areas of town, a project, and we were just literally out there doing hot dogs and stuff. I didn't have my purse and nothing. I was just like, casual Donna. But I was talking to a lady who had 3 kids, one on her hip, one in a stroller, and one beside her, African-American lady. And we talked about, I was going to take them down to the riverfront. We were talking about the riverfront, and the little boy he continued to insist on me telling him what the riverfront was. So the mom was getting on to him like, quit interrupting this lady, right? But the short version was, this kid had no idea we have a riverfront. So this show, you're talking with a guy who has great, $25,000 clients and up. I've got clients like that, but we also both have friends and clients who are not 25,000 and up. So I want to make sure you understand, live, work, learn, and play. Alex Lavage is about that as well. So if you're sitting there, no matter where you are, and I say it like this, from the trailer park in Soddy Daisy or to a hood in downtown Chattanooga, no matter who you are, I want you to know you have opportunity. All you got to do is reach out to me. I will help connect you. But I do want to make sure that you understand what I'm telling you. This is for you too. It is not an exclusive group. You agree?
Well, that's absolutely right. And I think that, oftentimes the first step, the first challenge is just not even knowing what opportunities exist. If you don't know the opportunities that exist, you can't take advantage of them. And that's the idea behind Reboot, is to showcase.
Yes.
That we interviewed a guy who came here to Chattanooga with less than $1,000 in his pocket, was working at Walmart, made an extra $100,000 in 1 year flipping real estate, to the college students we interviewed that are making an extra $2,000 a month playing video games and putting commentary up on YouTube, to another gentleman who is making anywhere between $800 to $3,000 a month selling custom neckties in his spare time.
Wow.
This is not multi-level marketing. We're not talking about anything.
These are
scary.
humans with ideas.
These are just real people that say, before I take the risk of launching something from scratch, I need to build personal wealth. Because when you have personal wealth, you can then pay for processes to get the customers before you launch and to go about it in a much more methodical way than to take this giant leap of faith and hope that everything works out. Because while that's beautiful and sometimes it happens and we celebrate that in the media, the reality is that more often than not, if you fall flat on your face going through that process, it takes a lot of energy and effort to regroup and to restart.
So to that person, I'm going to go back to my friend Chris Cummings and to Felicia Polk Jackson. Two people, different sides of the track. She would tell you that, he would tell you that. What do I mean? One comes from a little more money, one comes from average, and she worked hard. My point is this: no matter where you are, if you're listening, you have ears to listen, then and you can actually reach out to us. That's the first step. So I want to make sure you understand access and exposure. That's what we're about. And sometimes I'm going to say it like this: when you're a white woman with red hair, sometimes people put you in the category of an elitist, right? But once I open my mouth and talk to you and you see my heart, you learn that's not. Same with Alex. So sometimes I like to break the physical wall down because people need to see that. So do not think these are two people behind the mic that, oh, we got it good. We got millions. You know, he might, I don't. But what we do is we keep working, keep opening the door that we have of access and say, I'm going to let you in. And you know what? People do that for me. I'm so thankful. I know people have done it for you.
Well, that's why I'm here. I mean, you know, my life's an open book. I left home when I was 16. I went out to Oregon. I took the GED. I was homeschooled.
I never knew this.
You know, and despite coming from a wealthy family, the truth be told is, most of my instruction came from the kindness of strangers, mentors, teachers, others. And that's a part of what drives my passion, is that I know what it feels like to have zero in your bank account. I know what it's like to be living out of your car. I know what it's like to feel like no one cares. And having gone through those experiences and through that depression, you come back out recognizing just how connected we all are. And that we all have to be there for each other, to remind each other that you're not alone, and that all you have to do is embrace humility and ask for help. And if you can do that, I guarantee you, just because you don't see opportunities all around you does not mean that they don't exist. There are opportunities to move forward no matter where you're starting from. But it starts with, just like you're saying, Donna, you've got to ask for help. If that's the first step, I guarantee you there is so much love in this community that it is overwhelming. It is the main reason why I'm here, is because despite having lived in different communities across the U.S., I have never come across a pay-it-forward culture more powerful in Chattanooga than anywhere else.
Alex, so I'm going to tell you guys, I'm live. Y'all know that. So I'm almost seriously about to cry. Here's why. It means a lot. The business is great, guys. Without the business, we don't have a city. We know that. Without all the nuts and bolts of what we do. But under that, guys, you get one life. You know, I'm going to say this. My mom is, right now, we don't know if my mom is going to make it, Alex. You know, we've been told 10 days, maybe a couple of months if we're lucky. We don't know. Guys, I've lost my dad. I lost my sister. These are the moments when I tell you I'm thankful my feet are on this floor. I'm thankful for this gig. I'm so thankful. But you guys, what I want you to hear of this is, yes, we can still be business, but we can still care. So I am looking at this, first of all, the marketing of this fantastic graphic. We got about a minute left. It says, innovating social innovation. Here from Chattanooga to attend, SOCAP 18, SOCAP. Y'all know SOCAP. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, SOCAP 18.
So this is Thursday. Can I take that poster, put one here and at my office?
Absolutely.
So I know Facebook listeners, I'm telling you, you'll see this out today on the Nooga page. You'll see it on my page. I'm going to do my best to be there. Before we head out of here, 40 seconds. Now I got to tell y'all because I got a commitment. So I do know just from the interaction, you guys want to hear from Alex. So Alex, I'm going to hoodwink you. Ready?
Okay.
Will you come back? Not just as a guest. Will you come back help me host a couple of shows?
Yeah, we have to help show off some dance moves.
You know, forget the business. You and me got to teach each other how to dance. Like, look, you need your friend Errol. You need to tell him he should up his dance moves. But now, Felicia, now she got it. She did pretty good. So, guys,
doesn't surprise me.
Innovating, but you're going to come back to dance,
Sure,
and to help me host a couple of shows.
Always happy to.
I love it, and I'm a fan of yours. Thank you for being my fan.
Yes.
Innovating social innovation. You'll see it on Facebook, guys. Tomorrow we're having a great show. Do not forget, guys, we've got SIMPA. It's the new organization, used to be Chattanooga Cares. Are you ready to dance this out with me? All right, let's dance it out. Look, Lucretia's saying hello. Lucretia, you missed it on the dance. Oh no, what's that called? What's that thing called? Guys, you're on the Nougat Radio Show with the Donna. The Donna Show. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We're the only show that brings you cool dance moves. We're out.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Traffic investigators say the two cars slammed into each other at the intersection of Brainerd and Elmwood. 2 people were hospitalized, one with minor injuries, the other with serious wounds. Part of the roadway had to be closed off as crews worked to collect evidence and clear the scene. Chattanooga police revealed they arrested a carjacking suspect on Saturday. 2 victims told cops that men ran up to them with guns, demanded their money, valuables, and car. They then made off with the victim's Dodge Charger. After a short investigation, the police named Brandon Cannon as a suspected carjacker, and another juvenile was charged. Cannon arrested on several charges, including aggravated robbery and carjacking. Nearly 1,000 people volunteered on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, with projects including a cleanup of cemeteries, church volunteer work, helping the homeless, and countless other activities to benefit the community. Kids from Howard High School volunteered on their day off. Russell Stroud, Nougat Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nougat Radio, 92.7 FM.
Nougat Radio, Chattanooga weather.
Warming up some out there for your afternoon with some sunshine. A little breezy, but highs should reach the mid and upper 40s tonight. Clouds will thicken. A few late showers. Lows only 40 to 42. A wet day Wednesday with showers off and on.